Okay. just talk.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ, this guy's tearing up the. All right, we got the AOC video here. She's talking about how the oil companies are murdering and raping
Indigenous
indigenous women.
and people of color.
What?
People of color too is in there, doesn't she say?
No, she says indigenous.
No, she says.
She says
black people too.
Well, how's it black people? They're not indigenous.
I don't know. That's what she says.
All right, well, let's listen to her.
All right, let's listen up.
All right, here we go, girl.
Crisis of missing and murder of Indigenous and Black women in the United States. Today, I want to discuss part of this crisis that is all too often overlooked.
I'm wearing my glasses, so I'm smart now.
Evidence shows that there's a very meaningful connection here. The correlation between fossil fuel extraction sites and abductions and murders of Indigenous women across the United States.
So what she's trying to say is, because we drill oil in the United States?
Well, I guess because it's on federal lands, and some of those federal lands would be on maybe some Indian reservations or stuff like that.
Okay. So these guys set up camp near these indigenous... How come I can't say that?
I don't know.
There's not too many words I can't say.
Indigenous.
I can say polysulfates and supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, but I can't say indigenous.
All
right. So she's saying that instead of going after these sickos that are murdering and raping women,
right,
we should just get rid of fossil fuels.
Stop it altogether.
First of all, they're not fossil fuels.
Well, they are.
And the other things, you know, as I was talking about, part of their control is tricking us into thinking that fossil fuels are actually fossils. Oil is a renewable resource. Just like the blood in your body, if I sucked out a quart, you'd be dead. A pint, how much can I get before you say you wouldn't die?
I don't know.
Well, if I took the blood out of your body, just say I took a pint of blood out of your body would make it.
Make new blood.
Make new blood. It's exactly what the freaking earth does.
Yes.
It makes new oil.
So oil is like the earth's blood.
The oil is the earth. It's the blood of the world.
Well, listen. We're not a representative, so we're not as smart as she is, I guess.
And she's got... Wait a minute.
Yeah, there you go. Put your glasses on. You could be just as smart as her.
Smart as AOC. What's AOC mean? I got to make up some an acronym for that. All right, let's finish it. I'm smart now. I'm smart.
Alexandria.
We're very lucky to have Miss Angel Charlie here with us today to start that conversation. Miss Charlie, let's start at the top. Can you draw a brief and introductory picture of how fossil fuel extraction efforts expose Indigenous women to physical and often sexual violence? Why is it that oil, gas, and fossil fuel extraction sites have such a high correlation of violence and abduction against Native women?
Thank you for that question. Fossil fuel industry creates man camps or temporary settlements that often exist right outside the borderlands of indigenous communities. As I stated earlier, many tribes do not have tribal jurisdiction over non-native offenders, which a majority of these oil workers are. We know that when these man camps or temporary establishments are created, that there is an increase in violence, and particularly sexual violence against our Native women.
Well, then we got to do something about that.
Stop
drilling for oil.
Is this the early 1900s man camps? So these guys are just out there pitching tents?
Well, what if they identify as women?
Well,
yeah, they're not pitching tents, but
well, no, I'm just saying, like, are they what's the man camp? What are they setting up? I need to see this. I need to be aware of what this man camp looks like. These guys don't stay in hotel rooms when they're out on the jobs.
Oh, they can't stay at the indigenous casino. I don't see why.
Listen, no, I'm not laughing at that. I see what you're saying. She's concerned about this, but she's not worried about the women and children that are getting trafficked and raped on the border. She's not worried about that.
No,
that's happening every day, all the time by the cartels. That doesn't matter.
Well, the oil's not polluting the planet.
The cartel's not polluting the planet.
Right.
That's what you meant to say.
Yeah, is that what I said?
No, you said oil's not polluting the planet.
Well, their oil isn't.
No.
Our oil is.
So anyway, it's not good on either side, and I agree with what you're saying. Like, hold the people that are accountable. Exactly. Whether it's the oil companies or the people themselves.
Right. You don't just not drill oil anymore because there's a few bad apples.
In the man camps.
God, put some police there. Or put some military there. Do something.
I don't know.
Make a move.
Right.
But no, we got to stop drilling for oil, and we all have to drive electric cars because indigenous people are being... I don't even know that this is true. Is this even true?
I don't know. I'm sure there's some stats somewhere in here. Play it.
So when there's a fossil fuel extraction site that is placed on a reservation, and those workers, oil company workers, go to the reservation, have that site, if they commit a crime and commit violence against indigenous women, you're saying that they essentially escape jurisdiction from having a clear path to accountability because of where these sites are happening. Is that correct?
There's no tribal police.
That's such bullshit.
Because tribal police basically circumvent, from what I understand, the Constitution. They have their own. They have their own they have their own ways of doing it. They don't. The tribal, from what I understand,
shoot them. You don't have to have your own way. Shoot the guy.
The tribal police is a totally different section of policing within the reservation, if those guys are on it, than what the actual people on the other side. It's almost like its own little country.
If you go into a reservation and commit a crime, you can be punished.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand what she's talking about. But I lost my thought. But okay, let's let her finish.
So does she. Real quick.
Go ahead.
So she's in her office on Capitol Hill.
Right.
Having this Zoom meeting.
She all smoke behind her?
While the lady, the indigenous woman, is in Capitol Hill being questioned. So she can show up, but this one can't.
Right.
It makes sense.
I'm scared. She probably got COVID.
She probably doesn't have anything.
That is correct.
Wow. Miss Charlie.
Wow. You know, in her state, they're releasing murderers, rapists, and pedophiles all the time.
Yeah.
They're getting rearrested 2, 3, 4 times and re-released.
Right.
Because it's not fair to keep criminals in jail.
Right.
And now you're worried about this?
Yeah. That's
hypocrite.
It is. It's very hypocritical, and it's a double standard of
this chick's crazy.
We gotta do it this one way, but we can't worry about it the other. Turn a blind eye to the other way.
Who voted for her?
I don't know. It's like 18,000 people in her district.
Yeah,
so
they all need to be smacked.
Probably about 12.
We should line them all up.
2,000 people. No, you can't smack them. That's not fair. It's not their fault.
That's absolutely their fault.
Go ahead.
Am I right to understand that companies building these oil pipelines are often ruthless in their resistance against protesters and sometimes even encouraging violence against them?
Oh, come on.
That is correct.
And we are seeing some of this get...
Where's the evidence?
Well, maybe she's going to say it.
You
cut it off.
I want to see it.
She's just said we've seen some of this. Go ahead.
Oh, she did say that?
That's what she was getting ready to say. You cut it.
Backed up with state legislatures authorizing, especially after Standing Rock and other places, authorizing and almost legalizing the use of violence against fossil fuel protesters, correct?
Authorizing the legal use of violence. What? Is she insane? That's not who does that?
So the FBI and the DOJ that she is now a part of, hopefully this is the legislation she's trying to work on, is trying to better, because she was at Standing Rock before she was a representative.
Didn't she get in trouble for speeding there or something?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was a whole big story.
It was a great video.
That is correct.
And is it correct that these companies often work directly with local police departments to subdue protests in this matter, sometimes going so far as to pay local police departments directly for their overtime?
Yes.
So the police are there to thwart or squell these protesters that are protesting what? Are they protesting the drilling of fossil fuel?
No,
or are they protesting that they're getting raped and murdered? Which one is it?
They're protesting the pipeline on the Indian lands is what they're protesting. At least that's what Stand In Rock was.
But why wouldn't they be protesting the rape and the murder?
Well, that's probably
Why wouldn't they be saying that?
Well, that's all part of it. It's all violence.
No, it isn't.
Apparently it is.
Well, protesting being an anti...
Just the whole pipeline and everything else that comes along with it is violence and reckless and hurtful. So
drilling is violent?
So we need Teslas.
Teslas?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So what we are seeing here is that local police departments on fossil fuel extraction sites that are placed strategically on reservations and native lands, those fossil fuel companies pay local police departments to protect their extraction sites, even when workers are raping and murdering Indigenous women?
Yes.
Can you tell us how this collaboration between law enforcement and fossil fuel companies puts
Why
Indigenous
did she keep
women...
saying that?
What?
The fossil fuels. This is kind of what you said. Like, is there any data, facts, anything to stats that go, yes, this is here. I have legitimately, here's the FBI, happenings of the year.
How many women died? And how many women were raped?
Listen, I hope that this isn't going on, but there has to be, other than we can't pump fuel or fossil fuels.
There's got to be another solution, obviously. This is nonsense.
Well, this is just her grandstanding. And again, I don't wish any ill will on the Indigenous people or the Native Americans because they've already had enough problems in this country. So,
wah.
But the people should be held accountable if they're raping and killing and murdering.
Yeah, obviously. But maybe they're transgenders or something. I don't know. Maybe. All right, let's finish.
Can you tell us how this collaboration between law enforcement and fossil fuel companies puts Indigenous women in particular at heightened risk of abduction and murder?
This is a continuation of state violence against Indigenous women.
A continuation of state violence?
I just feel like this is a setup.
Well, every question is leading.
Well, yeah, she's just saying something, and the lady's like, yes, correct. Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Charlie. I know this is a very difficult topic to discuss, and I thank you so much for your testimony today. And I think what we see here is that the data speaks for itself. Just this February, pipeline workers associated with the development of Line 3 were arrested for sex trafficking.
Wait. I thought they couldn't be. But now they are. Okay, so now we're doing something about it.
See, here's my problem with what she just said. The data shows she's going to get to it here, but she hasn't shown any data points or facts other than her asking questions and phrasing questions for the woman to go yes. She says sex trafficking. All right, was it? Oh, Does she explain how many people it was? Was it one guy? Was it 10 guys? Was it the whole company?
Well, no, she wants to make it sound like it's the whole company, the state for that matter.
Well, yeah. Let's see where she's
painting a picture of lies and deceit. She's deceitful.
Right.
ACLU of North Dakota also reported that 411 missing, murdered, and Indigenous people were kidnapped or murdered in states affiliated with pipeline projects, and that 10% of...
What is that? That doesn't mean anything. Just because there was a pipeline in that state and somebody was murdered, it's the pipeline people?
Yes.
That's what she's inferring?
Well, people are going to be like, yeah.
Oh, my God. How come there's nobody there to ask her questions?
Because that would be racist.
Oh.
Of these cases occurred in counties where the Keystone Pipeline alone is proposed to be built. Ms. Charlie,
well, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Well, she said proposed to be built, so it's not even being built there right now. So what does that have to do?
Well, you don't have to worry about it.
Well, the guys aren't there, so who's doing the taking? Whatever.
Mole people.
This lady's crazy.
People on the moles.
But
mole on the ground.
She's fun.
She is fun.
Your testimony, you stated that the root inaction that families face is the devaluation of Indigenous lives since the onset of colonization.
No, I believe her testimony was yes and no. I don't think she said a full sentence. Hi, thanks.
Devaluation of Indigenous people's lives since colonization.
Some mighty big words.
So since what, 1492, since Columbus showed up?
1492, when Columbus sailed the ocean.
So when did Columbus hit the shores? That's how long this has been going on?
Yeah, of course. It's all his fault. Why do you think we took down his statue? He's a terrible person, Christopher Columbus.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
So okay. it's just...
Whatever it is, it's unforgivable. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So I want to end by turning it over to you. What would you say is the most important thing that can be done now to address the problem of missing and murdered Indigenous women?
Oh, I got the answer. You ready?
Sure.
Stop drilling. Or buy Tesla.
Well, she's not going to say that because...
Or let's go to Ukraine and get all the lithium.
Right.
Let them women get raped. I can't wait to hear this answer.
Tribal nations need to be able to fully prosecute the crimes in which happen in our communities. We need VAWA legislation passed. We need extractive industries out of our communities. We know that what happens to our land happens to our women and happens to our bodies.
So we're raping the land and we're raping the women.
I mean,
what a lie.
Well,
this is bullshit. It's a complete fabrication. I don't believe it for a second.
Okay.
Do you?
Well, I don't think what she said it was too outlandish. I mean,
what do you mean too outlandish? Of course it's outlandish.
Oh, I agree with people should be prosecuted and the law should be changed to help the people out. But I think
this stuff isn't happening.
Well, we don't know.
No, I do know.
No, you don't.
Well, did she show you anything? She just said it, so it's true?
No.
Well, then what?
I'm not saying it's not happening.
I know just as much as she does.
Right.
So why can't I be right?
I'm not any more schooled on it now than I was before I started watching this clip.
It's nonsense. No facts, no stats, no other people, no victims, nothing. Where's the victims?
I don't. Well,
what, are all dead?
Maybe it was some other clip. I don't know.
Well,
this is only 4 minutes. Go ahead.
Will you stop sticking up for her?
I'm not sticking. I'm sticking up for.
What, do you like her?
I'm sticking up.
Why don't you marry her?
I'm sticking up for Miss Charlie here.
Miss Charlie. She looks like one of Charlie's angels.
All right.
The new one. Except she ate one of the other angels.
Why you gotta be so mean?
Because.
Anyway, guys.
Because I'm tired of the bullshit.
Well, listen. I wouldn't doubt that something happens on the lands.
All
but
right, we got 8 seconds. You
ready? I don't think it's as.
Yeah, nothing's happening.
It is an injustice on the part of the United States government to have these institutions unregulated in our community.
Okay. And there we go. So it's bad.
Are they unregulated? I mean, it seems pretty regulated.
What? Well, if they're unregulated, they're unregulated. That's pretty much it.
All right.
All right. Well, that's all I got for her.
Yeah.
All right. Let's catch you on another episode.
All right, man.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Okay.
Boy.
All right.